Hello and welcome to the latest Craftmania Sunday Showcase. Today I think I've come up with a bright idea that I'm going to share with you. I've not seen this done by anyone else before, but that doesn't mean I've just missed it, so please don't think I'm stealing your thunder if it was your idea. But what we're going to do is we're going to take some embossing folders and do a new technique. So many videos previously we have braided over the top of them with inks and heat embossed them and done different bits. Well, today what we're going to do is we're going to turn them into an ornate panel. What we're going to do is we've got acetate that I've embossed, and now we're going to make only half of it sparkly and glittery in the hope to get that sort of ornate design. I quite like the panel dies that you get where it cuts out the sort of silhouette designs, and I think this gives you the same look but a lot cheaper because of all you're doing is using an embossing folder that you may already have, or if not, we've got plenty of designs to tempt you with a little later, and of course a wonderful Sunday Showcase offer. So to do the effect, all we need is just ordinary acetate. I'm using a thicker acetate so you get a deeper impression. I've gone for the A5 size. We sell this in store. You get 10 sheets in a pack for £3.49. I've just embossed it with one of our embossing folders, and I'm going to pop it so the positive side is face down. I'm then going to take a brayer. Once again, we have these in store, they're only £6.99, and I've taken a little bit of fast drying glue and put it out onto a tile. Now you don't want your brayer to be too overloaded with glue, because if it is, it will seep down into the design and then it will just become a blobby mess. So we want less is more really. The glue I'm using will dry quickly. It's a nice big bottle, they're only £3.49 and again available in store. We're just going to brayer over the top of the folder now, which is a little bit harder to see on white paper, but I will show you it on the table in a second so you can see what we've done. If you have a little look there, you can hopefully see the bits that we've covered. This is a good time to mention that if you do go through your design, if you have a cotton earbud to hand, just dip it in a little bit of water and you can just lift the glue off quite easily if it has gone onto parts you don't want glue on. Now we'll turn over our piece of paper so it doesn't matter that we've got glue around the edge, and I'm just going to pick this lovely purple shade of glitter. We do loads of different shades of glitter in store. They're only £2.49 a tub, and they do quite a lot of this covering for your money, so you can get quite a lot out of them. And all we're going to do is just spread this across the whole folder. Now at this stage we can tap off the excess, and again if you want to you can remove any bits that are stuck in the middle of the design now, but to be honest, once it's dry, if you go over it with a brush it will just lift them off. Just an ordinary paintbrush, you can take them out, but if you do it now obviously the glue is still wet and you might smudge it. Now if you turn it over you can see that it looks a bit of a mess. That's because of the glue. Where the glue is white, it's sort of interfering with the glitter. But if you pop it to one side for sort of 20 minutes or so, depending how thick you've applied your glue, the glue will dry and all we will see through it is the glitter. So let's take you on to a sample where we've done that. So this is our first sample, to give you the idea of that. This is the side without the glitter on it, and just so you could see, I've left it open on this card design so you can see that it's quite nice even with the glittery side as well, but obviously a little bit rougher. It's quite nice this side because you've got more of a varnished look to your glitter as well, which is quite nice. So let's talk about a few of the cards I've made with this technique. Obviously you could use any colour of glitter for this. One thing I will say is I did find that darker colours had a few more possibilities than the lighter shades, but you will see an example in a moment that I've done with one of the lighter ones so I can show you what I mean. So our first card here, we've used the Flower Flourish folder. Now this is one of our £4.49 size designs. On the front here I've also used our Dragonfly die. Now this is from one of our value collections of dies that are coming recently. So you actually receive all 3 of these in a packet for only £4.99, which is really good value. Moving on, we'll show you card number 2. So with this one I've gone for a black glitter instead, so it's a lot darker effect, and backed it with purple card. The folder I've used for that one is this Butterfly Flourish, if you can see that. So we're on to a square design this time. Again, it's only £4.49, and then we've just made a nice folded back card with a sentiment on the inside. Moving on, we'll look at card number 3. Now with this one I've actually just created this as an acetate overlay. So the acetate runs down the back of the card, so I've used a whole A5 sheet for this. But of course you could cut it off and just foam pad it on if you wanted. Now with this one I have used the Garden Flowers folder, again $4.49. On the front I've used a lovely shoe die, which again comes from the value collection of dies, so that's only $4.99. And if you like that, you may well like the matching handbag that we have in store. Again, this one's only $4.99 as well. Across the top I've used this lovely organza ribbon with a satin edge, which is 58p a metre. And then across the bottom here we have our border punch. Now I'll show you the actual punch on a couple of cards' time, but this is available in store again. It's only $7.99. We use this one quite a lot, so you've probably seen it on previous videos. And we'll move on to card number 4. So for this one we've gone a little bit festive. Now this is what I was on about with the light glitter. As you can see, you really do see the shades come through underneath. So you might not like that one quite as much, but I did think it looked like a lovely winter sky. So it sort of matched in quite well with our village scene embossing folder, which is this one here, again $4.49. Across the bottom and the top here I've added our lovely panel die, which is this one. That's available in store for $8.99, and also looks quite nice inked. If you haven't seen this sample before on Facebook, it is quite lovely with a little bit of ink and a little bit of glitter. And if you'd like that style of die, we also have a tree design which would have worked quite nicely on the card too, and that one's $9.99. Down the side here I've added a little bit of ribbon. We've gone for a lovely gingham ribbon. We do this in several different colours, several different widths, but the one I've chose to use is only 50p a metre. Moving on to our next card and our final card for today's Sunday showcase, we have this creation. Now again I've used another embossing folder. This time we've gone for Floral Summer. Lovely design, this one. Same one as what we did our example with when I show you how to do it. On the front of here we've got our lovely die of a butterfly, which is this one here. This again comes from our value collection. It's only $3.99. And down the front here you can see our little spray of flowers. Now believe it or not, talking of our value collection, this is another set from that. You get all of them dies together in one pack and it's only $6.99. I'm going to show you this example because we haven't yet put this on Facebook, but this is the same setup but done in gold and black instead, just to give you a different idea. I think I prefer it gold and black than blue and white, but it's both nice both ways. On the back of our card we've also got that same scalloped punch going across the top of each of the panels. This is the actual punch in question. Once again I'll just remind you that one's only $7.99 and incredibly easy to use. Unlike a lot of the border punches where people with dexterity problems suffer, this one is actually quite good. We use it a lot in our lessons, and a lot of people who can't use punches normally get on really well with this one. So if you do like the punch effect but do struggle, pop into our lower stuff store and you can even have a little go with it beforehand so you can make sure you can use it. Okay, talking of your folders, now this is of course a Sunday showcase, so we have an amazing offer for you. This week, as you may know, we've got 20% off everything up until 5 p.m. on Wednesday. That's Wednesday the 31st of August, to celebrate our bank holiday annual event. But because of that, we're going to do an even better offer for you on the embossing folders. So we're actually going to give you 30% off of all of our pink packet embossing folders. They're craft two designs, so you'll be getting 30% off of them, meaning that instead of paying $4.49 for all the designs I've so far shown you, they will only be £3.14 a folder, so they're a proper little bargain. But of course that means that your 20% off, which as I say goes on till Wednesday, you could get that off of all of the dies I've shown you, and the glitters, the brayers, the glue, and anything else in the store that you might like to pick up. But it does only go on till Wednesday, so do get in store quick. I'm going to show you a few more folders so you can see a few more of the designs that we do. So this one, for instance, again in the offer, is a lovely Christmas tree that we've layered. Then we have a lovely frame. Now we used this one quite a few times on the videos previously, so you've probably seen this, but what a better time to get it than with 30% off. We then have another square design with our dog paw prints and dog bones. We then have a pansy design with a little bit of sparkle on that one. And then we have our love frame. Moving on, we have our pansy frame. Then we have our delicate flowers, music notes, mixed dots, Santa's sleigh, which you may have seen a couple of weeks ago on the white on white card that we uploaded, which is coming up in one of our lessons shortly. This is the folder we used for that. Moving on, we have our lovely holly corner. And if you like the village scene design that we did for today's showcase, this is a similar one but of a forest setup instead, which would work quite nicely. Then we have our Christmas wreath, and if you haven't seen this one before, this one's one of my favourites, our little 3 snowmen together. Now, just as a reminder, you are getting 30% off of all of the embossing folders, and this will run until next Saturday at 5 PM, which will actually be the 3rd of September 2016. So if you do get in store for them, you save 30%. As I say, once again, we have got a 20% off event now going on all the way till Wednesday, so you will get 20% off of all the products we've shown you today as well. Of course, with the folders, you can't sadly cash in and get the 20 and the 30. It will just be the 30, but it will only make them £3.14 each. So do pop in and have a look. I've only shown you a few of the designs. There are lots more you can have a look at. I hope you enjoyed today's technique. If you have any questions, post them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. I hope you'll have a go at it as well, see how you get on. The actual card that we showed you a little while ago, this will be coming up in our future lessons, so do keep an eye on the events section and we'll be announcing in the next few days the dates that this one will be being done. So if you did like the look of it but you're not brave enough to do it at home, why not pop along to a lesson and we'll show you how. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all next week when we have another new product or a new technique to show you. Thanks for now. Bye.